gonna take it. I like the hood. You've been doing it all summer. Why not? Why not? Make sure.
I got you.
First of all, you put out the letter to all your fans back in New York. Anything you want to say to some of the fans? It's the kind of closure for New York.
Yeah, it's for me, it's just more about kind of understanding what this is all about. This is not about me turning my back to New York. It's not about me turning my back to the fans. It's about a business decision. It's about me coming to the grips that it's time for me to think about myself from a standpoint of winning and understanding where New York organization is at and where they're trying to go and what they're trying to do. There's no bad blood, no hard feelings between me and the organization. We left, in great fashion. As far as I'm concerned, I have nothing bad to say about those guys, and I wish them luck. And the fans know that I'm always be, and I'm always represent New York. So.
As you and your team were sitting back in this process, what made Oklahoma City sexy for you to say, you know what? Because when people came out and said, Melo's opened up his team, you said, OKC.
It was more about looking at opportunities for me to just win. Like at this point, I've stayed with teams, stayed in situations because of contractual reasons and money and, not wanting to leave money on the table, but also believing in, wanting to believe in, New York and in the organization and the players that my teammates. But then it came to a point where I was like, okay, now I really got to get serious about, my career. I'm not getting younger, and the only thing I'm missing is, winning and kind of just getting that joy back, getting that feel back, and kind of feeling refreshed. And I feel like that now. So.
You and I were having a conversation the other night, and people talk about Melo the Pounder. People forget Melo can catch and shoot. How do you tweak your game now to fit with Russ and PG and making sure you guys are on the same page?
Yeah, I look at it and I take life lessons, right, that I've learned. I've always moved around from the projects in New York and Red Hook to Myrtle Avenue in Baltimore, the projects in Baltimore. And I've always adjusted. I've always became a product of my environment. And I look at sports and basketball in my situation the same way. I've always adjusted to my situation. If it calls for me to go out there and get 30, 40, 50 points, then that's what I'm going to do. If it calls for me to adjust my game and be a spot-up shooter and add other facets to the game and bring other facets to the game, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjust to my environment, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to OKC, because I see the talent level that we have on this team. I know what Russ can do. I know what PG can do. I know what the other guys can do, and I felt like this was the perfect fit for me to just come in and just play basketball, help those guys as well. But just bring a different attitude, a different mentality into this situation.
We talk about chemistry a lot in our league. How long do you think it takes for you guys to find that rhythm, find that chemistry? Because you have 3 alpha dogs.
Yeah,
it's the fourth quarter, and all 3 of you guys want the ball.
Of course, man. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to adjust. But at the end of the day, man, we ball players.
Right.
We ball players, and it ain't no who's the first option, second option, third option. Listen, whoever's open gonna get it. If we feel like Paul is the one who got it going, and he got it going that night. If I got it going, I got it going. If Russ got it going, he got it going. We're not forcing the issue.
Right.
We're going to let it come to us. We're going to let it play out. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to get the kinks out. But at the end of the day, I think people overthink it. We're basketball players at the end of the day. I consider us smart basketball players. And we're going to make the proper adjustments that we need to make in order to make this work. So.
You and I were talking about what the NFL's been doing, about our president and the comments he's made. What is your outlook on this?
It's tough, man. And, I look back last summer when myself, LeBron, and D-Wade and CP stood up on the SB stage and kind of, did a call out to our fellow athletes and to stand up and step up and, and have a voice. So to see it spur from that into what it is right now, I'm all in agreement with what everybody is doing. I don't think there should be any backlash for what the athletes is doing. This is our country. We all have our right to say what we want to say. It's freedom of speech. Taking the knee, standing in the locker room, whatever you want to do. However you want to, show your frustrations and we're not doing nothing harmful though. It's
Right.
you know, these athletes, football players now in particular, they just taking the knee. I mean, they're not arguing. There's no ruckus being caused. Like, they just taking the knee. They standing for what they believe in. And you know, I got to take my hat off to Colin Kaepernick too, because he was one of the reasons why all of this has actually happened, and guys are actually standing up and having a voice in the NFL. Whereas before, last year when he did it, everybody was looking at him all crazy and didn't know, you know, what was going on and why he was doing it. So I take my hat off to him, because he was able to, you know, kind of spearhead that movement in the NFL, and guys woke up. You know, NFL players woke up, and what the president is doing and what he's saying, you know, about those guys and about us as athletes, is only going to make us come together even more, become closer, and, you know, we're witnessing history here. And something big is about to happen, and, you know, this joint venture between all the athletes is about to become bigger and stronger.
Now that you have that jersey on, now you've digested things, what's a successful season for the Thunder?
You know, I hate that question, man.
I had to give it to you, though.
I hate that question, man. And, you know, I think we raised the stakes. I think we raised the bar. Our expectations are very, very high. I can sit here and say we want to win the championship, which we actually do. We want to win the championship. But I can't say we're going to win the championship, because it's a lot of work that goes into that process, into that journey. So I don't know what's a successful season. I can't put that in words. I mean, we would know what's a successful season at the end of the year, when we sit back and look at it and, you know, kind of just address what's going on, and, you know, kind of just look back. You know, I don't want to say what's a successful season. I don't want to put nothing out there right now.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time with me.
Thank you, brother.
All right, stay healthy.
That love, man.
All right.